CSD, John Perry is not here. Did you have anything you wanted to say about
You
that,
kidding?
Charlie Johnson?
You had to ask her.
May I?
Boy,
Yes.
oh boy.
Charlie Johnson is the chair of he's heading the CSD, I guess,
Committee.
task force.
Feasibility Committee.
So he's gonna give us a little 10-minute recap.
I'll read the page and I'll be done.
Here.
I prepared this for a meeting we're having tomorrow with the supervisory staff, so this is a preliminary agenda items. The status is the proposal was submitted to LAFCO on July 18th of last year. The Board of Supervisors had a public hearing and approved the application on August 22nd. Technically, the County of San Bernardino is the applicant, not us, which was actually turned out to be pretty brilliant because all the fees that related to this are paid by the county. Otherwise, we'd be out here passing the hats and giving us money. So that was approved on August 22nd. LAFCO received the application on September 6th, notified us of that. There was a departmental review committee meeting on October 5th, and people from the committee were there. People from all over the staff of all over the county were there, and we sort of, hammered out all the issues that related to this project. We had a follow-up meeting on March 8th where we sort of fine-tuned some of the issues, came up with some things that need to be done in preparation for the meeting, LAFCO Commission meeting. Last week, we received the EIR mitigated negative declaration. Yes. Which means that's cool. It was issued on March 30th. And I say mitigated because there was only one issue that needed mitigation, and that was the issue of tax money. Pinion Hills puts in a gazillion dollars. I mean, it's several hundred, $800,000. It goes into fire protection for the county, and a piece of that goes into providing money for the Wrightwood Park, approximately $40,000 last fiscal year. Well, that money came out of Pinion Hills. That money, if the CSD is successful, that money goes back to Pinion Hills, and the issue is that there would not be sufficient money to support the community center and the parks in Wrightwood. So there's an impact of that, the environmental impact of that. So the mitigation of that is that LAFCO will work with the county assessor's office, the county auditor's office, to redistribute the funds so that the $40,000 will remain up in Wrightwood and it won't be a problem for their park situation. That is a no-brainer decision because $40,000 is not going to make or break our CSD feasibility. So we all said, yeah, go do it. So that was easy. Here is the good news. The LAFCO, the commission public hearing is scheduled and will be on May 16th. So if anybody's interested in going down to that meeting, take a look at the LAFCO website and you can get the time of the meeting. But that will be the very, very important meeting. We have 3 issues before us. One is that you may know that Zone L, CSA 70 Zone L, several years ago, 2002, initiated a loan with the California Infrastructure and Economic Development Bank. If you can say that, you've read the contract. To borrow up to $5 million for infrastructure and development of the system. They have borrowed a little over roughly, don't quote me on the number exactly, but it's approximately $4.25 million, approximately. They don't intend to draw any more down, so that's probably going to be the max of the loan. The issue is, there are 3 issues within that, and that is we need a statement from an attorney that says that this resulting action of approving the CSD will not change the tax-exempt status of the loan. So it's a taxation issue. It's not a problem. It will be tax-exempt. We just need to have an attorney write a letter. And Special Districts is Manuel Benitez. That's his task to get that statement from the attorney. We need another statement from a certified accountant that the resulting action of the CSD will not change the ability for the loan to be paid. In other words, we're not changing any of the funding sources or any of that. And the answer is we're not, because It's, you know, the same fees, the same structure, the same, you know, expenses. All we're doing is changing the governance. So we're not changing any of the service provisions or the fee structure. So we need an accountant to certify that. LAVCO was working on getting that opinion. We need assurance, the bank needs assurance that the entity is legally, can legally assume this loan, and CSDs do. Community Services District can and do have these loans. So all that they need, the bank needs, is a statement. Once this has been approved, they'll need the legal references from LAVCO to say, yes, this is legally, you know, structured within this, you know, code of California. And by the way, it's not a county service district, it's a community service district. So your agenda item should be amended.
By the way.
It's a minor thing, but it's not a county. That's the whole point of getting it away from the county.
Oh, Lord.
I'm sorry. Just change county to community. It's not a county service district. Okay, the second issue is, and this is a biggie, boys and girls, this is big. Special Districts has obtained an opinion from county council that all of the pooled equipment in the last several years, they have stopped buying equipment in individual community service areas, and they've been buying it in CSA 70 general. And so all this pooled equipment, the county council is saying that equipment belongs to the county, it doesn't belong to the individual districts. Now Hellendale has this problem. This is how it came up, because Hellendale found out, because special districts didn't tell them this until after CSD in Hellendale was already formed. So now Hellendale is scrambling around to say, hey, that tractor really belongs to us. And so now we have the same problem. Sometimes it's good to go second because you find out where the problems are.
Yeah. So
our opinion clearly is that's not fair, because CSA 70 Zone L is the biggest district of all the ones that special districts deals with. We put in probably, and don't quote me, we put in a significant amount of the money into that pool that bought the equipment in the first place. So equity would tell us that we should get that same percentage of the equipment back out. Now LAVCO is the referee here. This is the good news, because they told us about this opinion at the meeting we had on March 8th, and the executive director of LAVCO just looked at him and said, the commission will decide what's fair, because that's clearly not fair. Okay, and lastly, special districts is to provide some things in anticipation of going forward with the community services district. Now, 3 things they're supposed to provide for us is a proposed contract to provide services as a general manager in the interim for the community services district, because on day 1 we won't have anything except the board, right? So there's be a contract in place that says, you know, Manny Benitez is going to be our general manager. So that contract needs to be produced by the end of April. Secondly, a proposed contract so that in the interim, the special districts division would be the service provider to the CSD in the interim period, because we won't have any workers. It's the same situation, right? Or office or billing or anything. So they're going to show us those 2 contracts. And the third thing they're supposed to develop for us is a proposed transition plan on how we would transition these 2 agencies working together. And that's what this is. And we're meeting with the county supervisor staff tomorrow to go over these things, just to give them an update as to what's going on. Just to give you a little background, if you haven't been following what's going on in Hellendale, we have. We've been watching, and I've been talking, and we've been up there talking to them about their situation. They were having so much difficulty working with special districts that they never did sign the contract to provide services. Never did. As of April 1st, the Hellendale CSD contracted with another company to provide the water services for Hellendale. And the company is knowledgeable because they actually are the ones that special districts calls after hours and on emergencies. So they're familiar with the system.